keep it a buck, had to find my own light. Peeling back the lies, making sure the truth is writ. The truth saga continues, a vibe check for your soul. Woke from the concrete slumber, taking back my own control. Seeing blind spots in the vision that they sold us as the norm. Weathering the storm, the truth saga continues. Let the saga continue.
Hey y'all, what's up? Y'all know who it is. Alright, so today's video is going to be about Miss Phony Braxton. But honey, I'm about to call her the future Mrs. Latruth. You guys let me know. Are we going to go ahead and are we going to keep Phony Braxton as her name? Or are we going to upgrade her to the future Latruth, or the future Mrs. Latruth? What are we gonna do? You let me know in the comments. But before we get into it, you know what to do. Thumbs up this video, subscribe if you have not already, cut your notifications on, and what? Leave us a comment. All right, if y'all in the replay, y'all know what's up. Hashtag replay. So I'm just scrolling, minding my business, trying to come down from my busy day, and then I come across a video that, you know, talk about it with Miss Caroline, you know, her channel. And she basically had like a little clip of when they were all looking like everybody's in the yellow school bus going to a darn trip for the family. You know, you had Sir RH, you had, you know, Phony Braxton, you had Melissa, and you had her daughter in there, and I think we had Miss Caroline in there. I think she was in the car too. And you know that his granddaughter was not secured in no darn car seat, you know, and he's really PO'd about that. And you know, he's PO'd that people are talking about that. But RH, you're so concentrated on yourself that you're not even thinking about the safety of your family. Everybody should be secured in the car, especially a child. You can't be making content and want to be the star and forget those little things because you don't want no issues. You know, you ain't supposed to be bending over in no darn watermelon patch. I ain't seen not there one car seat in there. Did y'all see a car seat? Because I know I didn't. You know, I do wear glasses, so I could have missed it. But I was reading them during comments. Another thing, there was another photo, or not photo, or video of him and his daughter. First of all, his daughter, his oldest daughter, Melissa. We call her Melissa. Y'all know what her real name is. But yeah, we call her Melissa. And her daughter was walking behind her, and she was on her cell phone acting like, you know, she wasn't even aware that her daughter was there. And then I think, you know, Sir, you know, RH, he was holding her hand or whatever. But I think the little girl, his granddaughter, and then his daughter, Caroline, okay, they were walking ahead of them into a parking lot. I do agree with the comments in that video. You can't allow these little ones to go forth and run ahead of y'all in a parking lot garage, because these cars are literally zooming. Okay, even if it's a goddamn speed bump, they're speeding over the speed bump, and they would never see the little girls, okay, because they're little ones. You get what I'm saying? So you don't want that. So please don't show that on camera. You know, mothers, grandmothers, aunties, people who just love children are watching your content, and they're thinking like, okay, that's them and what they would do, and so they're gonna basically correct you. RH, everybody who's correcting you and telling you what you should do are not haters. They're actually trying to help. All right. So another thing I learned from Homegirl's video, talk about it with Caroline. Miss Melissa and Phony Braxton, they got a channel together. Yeah, they got a channel together. It's called, I think, Dee and or it's called Melissa and Phony Braxton, y'all. So y'all gotta figure it out, and things like that. But it looks like they making some moves, you know. Okay, so in the video, the reason why I talk about it with Miss Caroline was talking, it's because it looks like, you know, Sir Robert doesn't know how to what? He doesn't know how to share the camera. Now, back when he was with his ex-wife, okay, Miss Brianna, or Miss Brittany, y'all call her, and things like that. When he was with his ex-wife, it was just him and her for the most part doing skits, because their little girl was a baby. You get what I'm saying? And so he didn't have to share the spotlight with nobody but his wife at the time. But now he has to share the spotlight with his oldest daughter, his youngest daughter, his granddaughter, his new girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? And things like that. And he doesn't know how to share it. So she was trying to say, oh, if you want to, and by she, I mean Phony Braxton. Phony Braxton was like, oh, why don't you go to, Melissa's page, and watch her video. And then here you go. You see Sir RH or Robert. You see him saying, oh, no, you can go to my page and see it. And she said, and Phony Braxton was like, well, no, you can go to her page as well. You get what I'm saying? So they had a little riff right there. And so because, last week, I had a live and all that, and I said that somebody had came in my comments, and it wasn't even in my comments, it was in my filter comments, and it was like, oh, if you keep doing this X, Y, and Z, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to send my following. I don't know who it was, but I'm thinking that it was RH's camp, because the video was talking about him, and I was getting on to it. I was basically saying that it looked like it was some drama, because I use my discernment. Who in here uses their discernment? All you got during what we would call back in the day silent watchers, come on out. The water is fine, but the land is even better. Come out the water, come from behind the trees, and actually talk to me. Because when people have discernment, when we can basically see through all the filters that they are putting up, so so people get enamored into the love story. But it's not a love story. So I said, hey, it's drama there, and then boom, here we go. You get what I'm saying? Here we go with Sir Robert saying that he is going to manifest this marriage and say that he's going to marry Miss Phony Braxton, which is awesome. But I've also said, if y'all don't repent, if you don't go and get saved and serve God, then serve God and go through the Son Jesus Christ, this marriage or this engagement is not going to go forth. Not because of a Miss Velica, not because of his ex-wife Miss Brittany, not because of his children, not even because of his actions per se, but because you are trying to say that you are going to bond with somebody and try to have God's union, but y'all not serving God. We've seen the letters on y'all pajamas that said Satan. We see that she is a goddess, and think that she is a self-made God. That is of Satan. We've seen a lot of things. His ex-wife is even saying that he did not believe in God. You get what I'm saying? He thought, I think somebody back in the day said that this man allegedly said, RH, he looks at this big dude in the sky, and he didn't refer to God as a dude. He referred to him as the N-word. That's what the streets are saying. You get what I'm saying? So I don't look at him as, and of course he has tatted on his own arm saying I am a God, when God says put no other gods before me. And we're not made to be worshiped, we are made to worship. So he has that big lie on his arm, and so he wants to make him basically look better. That's what I'm getting, that he wants to be the big baller. Oh, I'm asking her to marry me, and we're gonna have this big blended family and things like that. We'll see, but I'm putting it out there. No, I'm not happy. Everybody else is giving them congratulations. I'm not. You get what I'm saying? Because I saw Miss Phony Braxton in the beginning. She has to deal with some emotional issues and heal from whatever she's going through before she can make a wife, and he does too. We have two trauma bond people. You have to understand. He met her on a goddamn poolside, right? Allegedly. You guys can correct me respectfully if you want, because I don't know everything, but I read so much every day and I hear so many videos and everybody's commentaries. But from what I've gathered on everything that I've understood, that he did meet her on the side of the road. I mean, on the side of a pool. You get what I'm saying? And so she went through her own thing. Remember, she has a daughter. Her daughter does not live with them. So she is literally encompassed with all of his family, all of his drama. And basically, isn't that what the man usually go through? When a woman finds another man, or a man finds a woman and she has children, her children are living with the family and living with the husband and the family. Oh, by the way, I'm watching a Tubi movie called Stepfather, and this what is it? His name is Taye Diggs and Tamar Braxton. They are in that movie. Support them, okay? Because we all like to support the black what is it of arts and the artists and things like that. And another thing I am watching is Netflix. Polygamous. Yeah, your girl's watching it. Yeah, I just want to know what's going on. But look, the polygamy is not good. And from what I understand from that first episode, darling, the wife is about to what? Go off. And the reason why that came up right now is because isn't that what he's promoting? Polygamy. Isn't that what he's promoting? Being a stepfather. See how God just goes ahead and kind of like, moves my path and even have the programs that I watch so I can have better commentary. You get what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead and watch it on your own time if you so feel fit. But yeah, he is, basically trying to look like he is doting and he's that. But like I said, she's kind of like in a man situation where her child is not living with them, right? Y'all, and his children, his family. So she has to be enamored in his family. She has to be engulfed into his lifestyle. She has to be doting to him. She has to be meek. That last video where it was like, all she had to say, honey, you supposed to belt that out, baby. So what do you say? You supposed to say, baby, I do. But you ain't got enough strength, do you, honey? You need to eat, darling. He got you on there looking like his ex-wife with no clothes on. He ain't got no respect for you, and you ain't got no respect for yourself. We don't need to see all that. Baby, all I see is that you need to eat a hamburger, sis. That's why every time we see you, you are sweating. Okay? You need to eat food. That way you don't feel like you got to be on something else. And God just told me the reason why you look like that is because you're trying to what? Be sober. And you're trying to what? Detox. And when you detox, you got her to do that video on a day she detoxing, Sir Robert. Please don't have that woman on there looking like she what? Hungry, sleep deprived, attention deprived, missing her daughter, missing what she wants to do. She doing everything that you like to do. It did not happen to your wife, your ex-wife, huh? Didn't that happen to Miss Velacan? And now you doing that to her? Oh, see, the darn teacher, the darn yoga teacher wasn't having that. You get what I'm saying? She went on and had her own children and said, deuces. Why? Because your ex-wife got on camera talking about she sleeping with a married man. She was like, oh, I don't want to be known as that. Let me go. Good job, Miss yoga teacher. You the one that got away. Because you see what these women are coming from or going through. They got to completely release their own personalities to be with this man. See, no, the other goddamn content creators, it's like they can't say the truth. Maybe they can't see the truth. I don't know. But God gave me this type of eye in Jesus' name to let y'all see that this man wants to take over. He wants to be the star. And he will basically, literally take all the energy from these women. I see no personality in Miss Phony Braxton. None. Her eyes look as empty, empty, empty. Her soul is completely gone as far as what she wants to do. I'm just letting y'all know. You ain't got to say it because I'm going to say it for y'all content creators. I'm going to say it for y'all watchers, the ones that want to be silent. Okay? I'm asking y'all to kind of peel your ears and your eyes and actually listen and look to this situation. The daughter looks miserable. And honey, she needs to drink some more water. She is looking really puffy. I don't know what y'all eating in that house. But Miss Phony Braxton, why don't you share with his daughter, Melissa, his oldest daughter, what you're doing for a regimen kind of thought, or what are y'all doing? Because you want to do business with this lady, but we want to what? We want to see her healthy. We want to see her strong. We don't want to see her so bloated. Okay? Sis, you need to drink at least 64 ounces of water, Miss Melissa, if you're listening to this. Drink more water. Stop eating all that salt, the chips, the processed foods, the DoorDash, the Ubers. I don't know what the heck is going on because I used to have a face like that too. Oh, I know what it is. You got cortisol, belly, and face. Your stress levels are through the roof, Melissa. It's through the roof. That's why you're gaining all that weight. Baby, you need to get yourself together. Get you a job or get you better on this social media. Make your own money outside of your daddy. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to save you and your daughter. You cannot stay up in that house with these people. I read somebody else's comment saying you cannot live in a house with a grown teenage daughter with her own daughter and her own mind, and she's been all through some things, some toxic relationships and all that. She is obviously traumatized. Okay, and so the only reason why she is able to live with her father is because of Phony Braxton being there. She is a buffer, but she can't be the buffer because she's not God. So we have a whole house that is not saved, and don't know nothing about Jesus the Christ, and we can see it, and children don't lie. And to me, she is still a child. Okay, Melissa is still a child. But yeah, they are basically getting together. They got a whole page together. They're going to do skits. I seen one skit, and it looked a little off. Homegirl needs to practice. They was doing voiceovers, and the voice and her lips and the voiceover didn't match. So get together. I'm going to need you to get better wigs. Too, in Jesus' name, let's get some better wigs. Your daddy's making some money. Miss Phony Braxton's making some money. Get that girl to get better wigs. Them synthetic wigs that don't have no parts that sold 2010. We need to step up, get homegirl a nice lace front wig so we can see that scalp area. I'm talking about them wigs where you got to put a little bit of makeup around the goddamn perimeter in Jesus' name. Hello? Because I'm a hairstylist. I want your hair to look nice. Miss Amira, we know you got some nice curly hair, but baby, you need to get some more protein in your life so that hair can thicken up. Okay? Because the thing about it is everybody in that house is going to be bald if y'all don't freaking get yourselves together, because this man going to stress y'all out. Have y'all not seen how Miss Vivica was at the end of her relationship? Have you not seen how Miss Brittany was at the end of her relationship? Honey, she looked like Skeletor back in 2022 and 23. Let's just keep it real. She wasn't eating. Now all of a sudden, she putting a whole bunch of food up in her goddamn stories. Hello, she getting chicken. She getting lamb, honey. She shaking off, baby. She always twerking and jerking. So therefore, she has to eat, baby. So sister's eating. She getting some weight up. That ain't all BBL weight, baby. Let's just keep it real. That ain't twin weight, because we know the twin weight, she barely made it during the twins carrying them. But right now, sis is getting a little bit more food up in her system. We see that nice little weight coming onto her. And honey, you don't need no filters, baby. Just come on there with your real face. You said you was going to go ahead and make some more content, Miss Brittany. Go ahead. We don't care that the filters ain't working. I heard that the filters ain't working, from one of the content creators on one of the darn platforms. And so that's why she in there in the dark. You get what I'm saying? You're looking like we watching a darn scary movie, and that's Brittany. Hello. Are we watching scary movie? Or are we looking at your content, ma'am? If you can't show your face, then what's the point? Just do a goddamn voiceover like I'm doing if you can't do it, because it looks ridiculous for us trying to see your face and it's dark, honey. What you trying to hide, baby? It is what it is. We've seen everything. So has all your men, baby. What you don't want us to see is that soul. You don't want to see that them eyes just was drained in tears. Hello? Miss Thang, before she gets on the camera, Miss goddamn Phony Braxton, she be crying every day, crying in the corner, crying in the shower, honey. She making unbreak my heart every night. Remember when goddamn Tony Braxton was sliding down the wall, baby? That's how she is behind Sir Robert's face, honey. He's like, you know what? We here to make money. Let's call him Ike Turner, baby. Because she is definitely Tina, huh? Tina, she was spiraling out, right, huh? Remember that goddamn time in that movie? She was up in that darn camera and she was putting on the goddamn eyeliner, and the eyeliner was sliding, and so was Tina, huh? Yeah, we gonna call him Ike Turner. That's what he is, because he just using these women for their talent. And what happened with Ike Turner, huh? Tina left, huh? All she wanted was her name, Yeah, Now, the last one didn't keep the name, okay? But homegirl right here, you marry her, she gonna get that name, baby. And you gonna be mad as heck. Oh, no, yeah, the name stays with me. That's what RH gonna say. She ain't in this house no more. That ain't my wife. She can't use my name. Whatever, honey. If you marry him, baby, make sure you have your ducks in a row, baby. Because he is famous for leaving people, divorcing people. As soon as he gets what he needs to get, he out, huh? He out. Out. Is this too much for you guys? Huh? Can I kick it? Y'all need to say, yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. I'm feeling it. Because this is from my soul. I feel it. I understand. I can see what's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that's what's going to happen if them two don't change. Honey, stop trying to live for social media. We just watching. Honey, we ain't got to live with it. Look, I ain't got to live with her, and I ain't got to live with him. I'm just here commentating on what I see. And I'm not going to BS my audience and say, oh, I'm so happy. No, I was enamored too back in the day. Oh, I was like, oh, that's his peace. But then God said, no, 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 no. Ain't no human your peace. God is your peace. Jesus is your peace. God and Jesus is the only ones who can give you peace and joy. Okay, so Miss Phony Braxton, if you're looking for joy from that bald-headed man that you feel as your tenderoni or your milk dud that you like kissing on and all enamored and all over him, let that man breathe, because I'm sure he letting you breathe. I mean, he ain't all over you unless it's what? Convenient. And I'm gonna need you to stop looking at the camera. If y'all gonna go ahead and make these skits, I'm gonna need homegirl to stop looking over at the camera, because it ruins the whole image. When you was in there at the beginning of the darn video, ma'am, Miss Phony Braxton, at the beginning of the video, you looked right at the camera, and then your voice was shaky. And I know why it was shaky, because you were hungry. Take that woman out to eat, Sir Robert. My Lord. Now that you thin and all that, and you got your darn body right that you feel, now you want your women to sit there and not eat and enjoy their goddamn freaking life. If you want to have children with this lady's going to have a little more belly fat. She's going to have a little more softness. She's going to have a little more relaxing. The woman that we met months ago, which I don't know how long they've been together, honey, because this year is going by fast. But, we saw more of a peaceful woman. But social media is not peaceful. And so she has to always be, aware of the camera. It's not natural. It's starting to look phony. It's not real. Okay? So she's not a real actor. She has not really, been on camera long enough to understand how it works. Okay? And so if you really want to do the skits and things, especially with the daughter, she needs even more work. You guys, y'all need work. If you're going to go ahead and put content out, put it out right. But I see what it is. He doesn't want Miss Phony Braxton to get bigger. He doesn't want his daughter to be bigger. He is jealous of both of them. Because why? Because they are woman. And what will women do? This is what Miss Brittany said. We take a seed and make a baby. We multiply everything. A woman is going to have something in her that man does not, which is creativity. Why? Because we create every day of our lives. So that's why these women can literally be bigger than him, because we're women and women support women and, in general. You get what I'm saying? It's not a lot of men. He doesn't have a male audience. He has a woman audience. So he doesn't want his daughter, he doesn't want his girlfriend / future Mrs. Latruth or fiancée or wherever she is. Manifest. I manifest that these people get delivered. I manifest that these people know who Jesus Christ is. I manifest that they get the joy from Jesus Christ and live right. Because all of them look miserable. None of them look happy. All of it looks like it's got written down and not real. Are we watching a reality show, or are we watching reality? See, when you sit around and you just lie all day and make up stuff, we don't know what's going on. So you're not going to basically, have me up and down with y'all emotions as far as this storyline. I'm going to look at it for what it is. I'm going to look at it like it's a different world, like it's the Cosby Show, like it's Love and Hip Hop, and any other reality show that's out there. I don't take this real, and that's the truth. It is what it is. So whatever they're trying to do, they already got a page. I don't know how long the page has been open, because I'm noticing that this darn saga is bumping. Everybody making content. Everybody's going live. Everybody's putting out stuff for us to talk about. And I think it's because we right here opened up this channel called The Truth Saga Continues. I would like to feel like that, yes, God has breathed life into this, because he wants these characters to not just be characters, but to be delivered from whatever demons that they're going through, and it's quite a bit. You get what I'm saying? But I feel for the young lady. I feel for his oldest daughter, because she doesn't have a voice. Looks like she's shy. Looks like she's keeping in everything, and that's why she's looking swole. Because when you're not able to get things out, okay, I advise her to get a podcast, talk about all kinds of things, talk about what happened with your baby daddy, talk about what happened with your daddy indirectly, but don't disrespect him, but tell how you feel, what y'all would say y'all true. I feel like she should write stuff down. I think she should write a book. I just see that for her. I see her basically one day just it seemed like homegirl needs to get in the middle of a room that's empty and dark and just scream, fall, take some time to cry, hit the air, and just basically woo-side and let all that energy out. Don't hurt nobody. Don't fight nobody, because if it keeps building up, it's going to affect her health. I see that in her. I see that in his fiance or future fiance. And I see that in him as well. So I don't know if this new thing where family is all together in one home, I don't know if it's a good look on this situation. I think they should kind of like just slow down and heal before you even think about marriage. I know it's good for views, but is it good for you? Okay, is it good for you, Miss Phony Braxton? Are you ready to be dedicated to this man for the rest of your life? Do you think he will make a good husband? Sir Servo Bear, do you think right now that she can handle being your wife and taking care of you and your children and her child and work? Do y'all think y'all ready for this? You get what I'm saying? She has never been married. And so she deserves to have a good marriage within Christ when she gets saved. And she doesn't want to basically have to marry somebody who has so much baggage and so many scars and so many demons. And, it is what it is. Baby, I could go on and on, but this video will be 2 hours. All right, guys. We will revisit this topic again. If we get 40 likes on this video, I'll revisit it again when things come up. All right. I didn't mean no harm with this. I don't want to basically step on no toes. This is all about correction. Okay. It's all about that. That's what it's about. We all need it because correction is love. And I love everybody because I'm required to as a woman of God, you guys. All right, guys. I will what? See ya next time.